Alright, boys and girls, November the 9th, we are going to compare the Deus HF2 coil to this Manticore with the M8 coil. You new Manticore owners out there need to watch this video, okay? Because I'm using a honker gold ring here, but this would apply possibly to other non-ferrous targets, which you're going to see in this video. Now, let's pretend that we're just going to gold ring hunt with this machine. And let's just pretend that gold ring there, that's a 10 karat gold ring. Let's say no gold ring in the world read less than that. And that's what everybody used as a standard to set their disc or notch so they didn't get over trash versus gold rings that would read that level or higher. Now I'm in a barn out here and I got a light on my head. We got high wind here right now, okay? So I've set this machine up in all-terrain high conductors, all-terrain low conductors, all-terrain general, and surf and seawater. And what I did is I've set the disc pattern in all of them, notching over to, you see that, 16, okay? So in all these programs, and you'll get to hear it, they'll all hit it. We'll start first here with all-terrain high conductors. You see, we clearly hit that ring there, right? You see where that notch is set. So in the wild, that thing's set 2, 3, 4 inches, 5 inches deep. You know, you'd probably hit it with that right there, huh? Now over here, we've got a piece of foil. There's a monster gold ring down there, and I'll show it to you in the end. And I'll sweep the DS2 over just the foil only, you know, just to show you what's happening. Now, I've been showing videos on this HF2 coil looking for gold rings or ring-shaped items. In the park the other day, I used 89 kHz channel 6 as my hunt program. Is that always the smartest thing to do? The answer is no, and this video will show you why. Is it smart to use the 29 kHz band and check it with the 89 kHz looking for gold rings? Yes. All right? Because it's going to expose masking. So you don't know what you're digging necessarily, but it could be a nice find. So we're going to start with a Manticore here. Speed 6. The speed here is not overly critical, okay? All-terrain high conductors from an inch over that foil. You see what happens? Nada. You've went right by that monster-ass gold ring down there and you don't even know it. Based on the audio. All-terrain low conductors. You see my notch. It'll hit this ring. You see that. And we're going to set that DS2 up over there the same way, okay? 1 inch over the foil. What do you hear? You see the dot in the screen there? I've got a little fog coming in here. This temperature is really dropping. So that was a fail. All-terrain general. You see my notch? See the idea of that solo 10 karat gold ring. That was our standard. 1 inch over the foil. Notice you don't hear anything much, do you? You notice that? Okay. So now we're going to go to surf and seawater. Even though this is a beach program, okay, you see my notch in there? You hear that? Now let me check these lower ferrous limits on this. I'll turn them down a little bit to 3. So you see surf and seawater. Boom on the solo gold ring over there, 10K. Here's the foil. Look what happens. Boom, boom, boom. You just can't ground balance this program on land. But it may have benefit in mild, medium mineralized ground, on shallower targets especially. And you see what we're talking about there for height, right? So you see that old surface seawater is wearing that baby out. As long as I keep that coil about an inch above that foil, boom, you see that? All-terrain high conductors. You see what happened? You see where it's at over there? You see that? All-terrain low conductors. Oh yeah, that'll hit a solo gold ring like no tomorrow, boys. You see that dot over there? Look. Now, if I remove that foil, this machine will light that big ass gold ring up like a Christmas tree, okay? Again, you see all-terrain low conductors is wearing out that 10-carat ring there. I'm turning the Manticore off. I'm going to turn this camera off and set this Deus 2 up. We will be using the sensitive program. Alright, camera back on. None of these targets have been moved, okay? Sharpshooter's honest as the day is long in the summertime. How's that sound? Okay. Sensitive program, 29 kilohertz band. So if you were going to hunt in the wild with this machine looking for gold rings, you could see this, okay? Channel 0. Now I'm in reactivity 2.5, okay? What I've done, you see my notch there. You see that? That's what's in the machine currently. Watch the meter on this machine on this 10-carat gold ring. You see that? So I've ran the notch up. If I go to 50, I don't get anything. That's what I just did. You see that? I'm backing it off 1. So you see the notch in the machine, right? So we would hit that in the wild probably, you know, setting so low. Now I'm back over here. You hear that? You hear that? So we've got audio, don't we? So you're in the wild and you're using the 29 kilohertz channel 0 with a 50 notch, which will capture most gold ring range, you know. There's not going to be a whole lot of gold rings. They have to be small, maybe the platinum or thin, okay? So you see I've got that there. And you're in the wild and you're using a machine like this. Transition to the 89 kilohertz. You see that? See that? What's that telling you as a user of this machine? Uh-oh, mystery target. So probably masking. I'll just dig it. I don't know what it is. Well, in this case right here, I'm going to be careful here because I want to sweep this foam or sweep that foil solo. It could be that. How about that shit? A monster 14-karat gold ring. Okay. So here's the foil. All right. There's the foil setting solo. What does it read on this machine in 29 kilohertz channel 0 exactly? All right. I'm in it. All right. It's not coming over my notch I set in the machine. You notice that. If I mash the ground balance button, there it is. See it? 37. If I go in here and take the notch out, so you can see it come up in the meter normally. Okay? So you see that. But we had a what? We had a 51, 2, or 3 in the window when that gold ring was beneath that. Okay? Now to put this in maybe better perspective for you, you know, this is not a bullshit test, boys, okay? Because here's the distance add an inch to that. My hand is 6 inches and a quarter from the back of it over here up to the thumb. Okay, so you'll be looking at about a 3/4 inch deep, 4 inch deep monster gold ring with that bullshit right there sitting over it, and you might not hear it. Okay? You might not hear it. Remember, you're not going to hear it on that Deus 2 in the 89 kilohertz band with a 50 notch. But you are in the 29. If you use the smaller gold ring as there's a standard with a Manticore, the only way you're going to hear that target with audio running that notch, just accepting the smaller ring, is in the surf and seawater. In all likelihood on a sweep. Okay? So you new Manticore users, that surf and seawater mode should not be discounted. Hunting around places where there's lots of lower conductors. You're running that Manticore right there in all-terrain low conductors, and you ain't running any notch, and you start seeing a whole lot of, I guess we could sweep the Manticore over this foil. Let's turn it on right fast. I think the Deus 2 is still on. I don't think that's going to bother us here on this. I'll turn it off. Because there'll be some sidewinder out there say something, you know. Okay, so we've got the old Manticore on. All-terrain low conductor. Horseshoe button in. You see the foil there. So you start seeing targets like that out there, reading 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a whole bunch of them. You may ought to go to surf and seawater and sweep this coil around. Oh, this might go for the other coils too, by the way, for this detector, okay? So this video here does show a few things. Some people will eventually probably wind up with both of these models, with both of these coils. All right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. The temperature's still dropping here, boys and girls. The old hick from the sticks in a barn that holds 14 automobiles.